Hello everyone and welcome back to Pro Wrestler Reacts. My name's Cabby and I've been a professional wrestler and coach for the last 20 years. Now on this channel I react to all things professional wrestling. But before I get into the good stuff, don't forget to suplex that subscribe button. The following video is intended as a light-hearted look into some of your favourite matches. It is never my intentions to insult or offend the wrestlers involved or their fans. Any and all views are my own opinions based on knowledge passed on to me by some amazing people throughout my time in and out of the ring. So, as you can probably see, today I'm going to be reacting to the debut of Logan Paul. And that is in a tag match where he tags with the MIZ, taking on the Mysterios, Rey Mysterio Jr. and Dominik Mysterio. Not only am I reacting to Logan Paul's debut, but this is the first time I'll have seen Dominik Mysterio work as well, so I'm curious about that. All I really know about Dominik is obviously that he's Rey Jr.'s son, and that Rey Jr. played a part in his training alongside Jay Lethal, I believe. So from what I've been told by people about Jay Lethal, he's got an incredible mind for the business. So I would imagine the lad's got some great psychology, great pace, and with Rey Jr. there as well, you can't really go wrong. I don't need to introduce Rey Jr. I don't need to introduce the Miz. They both speak for themselves. So yeah, I'm just going to roll straight on into this one and see what Logan Paul's about. To be honest, I've heard that he does a great job, but there's still a little part of us that can't help but be a little bit skeptical, you know. So I'm going to watch this and make up my own mind on it.
Miz and Logan Paul are about to become the most successful crossover stars ever.
I mean, that's a great start for a rookie. To be brand new to wrestling and to know that if your opponent gets that close, you should try and grab them. Obviously, you do that for the sake of legitimacy. I mean, that's a great start for somebody's first match to know something like that. You normally don't pick that up for a little while.
In this business, a teamwork already from Logan Paul from the outside. A diversion early on, Jimmy, to distract Rey Mysterio. With $1 million smile on the face of Logan Paul.
Okay, as far as what the Miz did there, we've got a saying in British wrestling, and that is one big kick is better than three small. I would rather not see multiple small kicks to the stomach because it's not easy to sell 3 kicks to the stomach, because after the first one you doubled over, after the second one you should be down. So 3 is just, it's getting into the ground of being silly. But yeah, I would personally, I'm not a fan of punches in wrestling either, because with MMA around these days, punching just seems a little bit unbelievable in wrestling now, because you'll see wrestlers pull out 5 and 6 punches in a row, and the only sell you'll see is an ow my head, rather than basically hitting the deck, which you would if somebody got 6 free punches on you. Plus everybody in that audience will pretty much know what it feels like to be punched at one point or another. It's very rare that people go through life without either being punched or something hitting them in the face at some point, and they know how hard it is to stay on their feet afterwards. So to see somebody take 3 or 4 kicks and 3 or 4 punches in a combo and only be doubled over in the ropes, it's not very believable. So me personally, I'm not a big fan of punches in wrestling, and if you're going to do kicks, 1 big kick's better than 3 small.
Yes! We'll have to see what Logan Paul can do. Now let's get some questions answered. Oh, against a helpless Rey Mysterio going after the ribs.
Well, he laid those strikes in.
Think about all the things that Logan Paul has said about Rey Mysterio.
He just got taught a lesson by a veteran. if you're gonna drag someone with the experience of Rey Jr. around the ring by his head, you better give him a reason to sell for that length of time. Otherwise, he is going to reverse that shit so fast, like he did there.
Making fun of his heritage, his size, claiming he's going to dominate.
No such thing occurred. Logan Paul has a healthy.
Okay, you see, Logan Paul picked him up and then carried him over to the rope, but he dropped him and pushed him into the ropes at the same time. Now, if you were going to do something like that, for the safety of your opponent and to prevent rope burns across the back and things like that, and any possible shoulder injuries from the rope catching you upwards instead of falling into it, basically you want to pick them up, you want to plant them on their feet, maybe half a step in front of the rope, and then lean them into it, rather than dropping them and pushing them in at the same time.
For everything Rey Mysterio's accomplished, it's Rey's
beautiful leapfrogs. The athleticism's legit.
Hurricanrana into the Mysterio corner. This doesn't fare well for the Miz.
Dominik Mysterio, the legal competitor now. Beautiful teamwork from the Mysterios. This is what you have to be ready for.
Love it.
Miz ready, cover. Near fall, but a kick out right after one. And the tag team continuity of Rey and Dominik Mysterio are going to play a crucial role in this matchup. We know they have it. We don't know the same about the Miz and Logan Paul. And also the confidence. Oh! Moonsault.
Okay, with Dominik, you can tell that he's green here. He's rushing through everything rather than taking his time and letting things work and making things as technically sound as he possibly can. He's rushing from one thing to the next. And you notice when he tried to hang him up on the top rope there, the timing was off because he's just going too fast. Well, the Miz is experienced, so his timing was right. Dominik was rushing it, which knocked the timing off, and it made it look a little bit... it was a nice moonsault, though.
And in comes Logan Paul, big right hand. Nice counter.
Tremendous athleticism being displayed by Dominik Mysterio in the early moments of this matchup.
Look at this, 2-for-1 special by Dominik.
Sensational.
That's an old Rey Jr. spot. He used to use that a lot in WCW.
Courtesy of Dominik, Corey. Watch Dominik not done yet.
Oh, springboard corkscrew.
For Dominik as well.
With a team like the Miz and Logan Paul, confidence so huge. They've been bragging for months, but when things aren't going their way, can they right the ship? This is what happens. You see the Miz rolling out the other side. Oh!
Miz is always a step ahead of the opposition.
Hey, did you see Logan Paul get a cheap shot in on Dominik?
I was watching Miz.
I'm sure you were. Just like the referee, distractions like this, it's the Miz's special.
Fight, but number one rule is you never turn your back on the opposition, no matter how many of them there are.
And the Miz and Logan Paul trying to get momentum back in their favor. They have Dominik right where they want him.
Look at the power of Logan Paul.
Bearing down Rey.
Wow!
Oh, beautiful slam.
Bulldog-esque power slam.
Now, come on. Don't throw that name around so easy.
Logan Paul picking it up quickly.
This is pure talent on display for the entire WWE
I
universe.
thought he'd done that. Okay. So, when Dominik took that running power slam, he planted one foot on his bump and the other was on the side on the angle. You need to plant both feet, otherwise you're getting the full shockwave up one leg. Both of the bottoms of your feet should be hitting the canvas at the same time, because that way it balances out the impact zone that you land upon. To put a lot of it into your ankle is a horrendous idea, and I would imagine it hurt like hell, and he probably won't do it again.
Wasting time, jaw-jacking with Rey Mysterio.
Logan Paul was simply showing Rey Mysterio how fast Logan's hands are. That was a warning. That was not wasted time.
Yeah, fifth in state in Ohio in amateur wrestling, does have a good takedown, does have an excellent double leg, and we're seeing that. Now we're seeing the teamwork he has learned from the Miz. Has to get out of the ring. Oh.
Covered by the Miz.
Out before three, but a little bit slower with that kick out was Dominik. Dominik instinctively reaching, but a long ways away from tagging in his father, Rey Mysterio.
The Miz is a great heel.
Two-time Grand disrespect, Jimmy. I say this comes down to jealousy. It was jealousy that the Miz had because of all the adulation that Rey Mysterio receives from the WWE Universe.
Backslide all the way down. Doesn't quite get him. Kick out before three. Your nonsense is downright sickening. How many movies has Rey Mysterio starred in? How many times has Rey Mysterio spent days upon days trending on social media? How many followers does Rey Mysterio have on TikTok?
That Logan Paul fella, he's not a liked man.
To break it down, Rey was on the cover of 2K22. The Miz could not digest that.
Logan Paul learning to talk like the Miz.
A blockbuster. Channeling his inner Buff Bagwell. Okay, that wasn't a pin. You hook the leg and just put your neck and head on your opponent. That's an insult to pins. That's not a real pin at all. If you're going to hook a leg like that, you better put your entire flat of your back across their chest. Otherwise, you don't even look as if you want to win.
Dominic knows that this match is basically over. Dominic's just trying to get his follower count up by being in the ring with Logan Paul.
Couldn't care less about followers as a tag is made to the Miz. Dominic Mysterio trying to desperately find a way, to your point, to make a tag to Rey Mysterio.
And once again, excellent teamwork between the Miz and Logan Paul. Quick tags, hot tags, keeping Dominic in the correct corner and moves like this.
Cutting corners. Logan Paul has learned from the best in the Miz.
Brilliant. That is called being wise beyond your years. Logan Paul saw an opening, an opportunity, and capitalized.
An opportunity to cheat.
Who cares, Saxton? This is the grandest stage of them all. All that matters is the W at the end of the night. Right now, energy and momentum on the side of the Miz and Logan Paul. Good shot by Dominic Mysterio trying to fight his way out of the corner.
And everything that can move right now is Dominic.
Nice.
DDT, and Dominic Mysterio has an opening.
Yeah, but he has to get to his corner. He has to do it quickly. Rey Mysterio so fired up.
WWE Universe in support of Dominic Mysterio, who's almost there.
70,000 plus cheering, and he gets there. Rey Mysterio one-on-one against the Miz. Flying Hurricane Rana. This is what Miz wanted to avoid, having to interact with the greatest luchador of all time. And right now, Rey Mysterio beginning to roll.
It's about family. It's about his Lucha Libre heritage. Rey Mysterio has to prove a point right now against the Miz.
Have you steal my mask, you're going to pay. Sunset flip rolls right through into the kick. Straight to the jaw. This might be it.
No, that's a house of fire.
But his eyes are not clear, gentlemen. Miz may be on Dream Street at the moment, but Miz is exponentially closer to his own corner than Rey is.
But this is the point of the match where if you're the Miz, you might question whether or not it's a wise choice to tag Logan Paul back in.
Lovely.
Shoulders down. Just in time is Logan Paul. That might have been it. Screen, Logan Paul and the A-lister back in control of Rey Mysterio. When it's been a double team, it has been Logan Paul and the Miz working together. Oh no. Cradle.
Shoulders down.
Oh. Miz narrowly escaping embarrassment and the showcase of the Immortals.
Beautiful cradle, beautiful counter.
Set up perfectly.
Here we go. Oh, no, no.
Love that. The fluency that Rey Jr. has still got at his age is absolutely mind-blowing to me. And if you notice on the satellite DDT there's two types of people that do satellite DDTs. There's the one that when they get onto the shoulder, they just spin. And there's the Rey Jr.'s. And that is core strength. As soon as your stomach hits that shoulder, you use your core strength to pop and spin. That way you create a little bit of space as you're spinning, rather than just spinning off and keeping it compact, and it's far more visual, and it's the Lucha Libre style.
To the 619 to the tornado DDT cover.
Is that enough?
Oh, not quite. Fight still left in the Miz.
How much fight is left in the Miz?
Also, can we just appreciate Rey Jr.'s ring gear?
In the eyes of Rey Mysterio, Rey slowly beginning to realize this is essentially a 2-on-1 handicap match because Dominic's been basically a non-factor. Let's be honest here.
What match are you watching, Corey?
Frustration, exhaustion, they're becoming the enemy right now for both teams. Beautiful suplex.
Oh, yeah. A little throwback. A little
Getting
homage.
two.
I'm sorry to pause it in the middle of the Three Amigos, but if you look at where he's grabbing the waistband round the side. Now, there's a reason that when you do a suplex, you don't grab here. When you're doing a suplex, you grab the waistband just in front of the hip bone, and the reason is that when you grab that waistband, you've got it here, and the hip bone's here, so you can push off your hip bone. If you grab the side here, it's just going to move with the stretch of the tights, and it makes it a lot harder to pull off the suplex, and it's a lot more likely that your grip will slip and you can drop your opponent on your head. So always grab in front of the hip bone.
Delivered by Rey on behalf of Eddie Guerrero, but Miz out the back door.
Miz, the veteran, knew that was coming, had the counter in mind.
And Miz just tagged in Logan Paul.
Smart decision, bringing in the fresher athlete. Dominik out of harm's way.
Nasty boot delivered by Paul.
Logan Paul has taken his time in these matches at certain points when maybe he could put it away.
I said that earlier, Jimmy. Crucial time being wasted again by Paul.
Logan Paul is simply enjoying his moment in the spotlight. How can you not be impressed with Logan Paul's performance?
Ooh, impressive suplex.
Logan Paul.
Oh, wow.
How slowly he did that was beautiful.
That's two, adding insult to injury.
Logan Paul looking for Three Amigos of his own.
And he pulls it
Logan
off.
Paul with the Three Amigos. And that might have been the dagger to Rey Mysterio.
He's a good heel.
Impressive strength, impressive athleticism from Logan Paul.
And he's got the confidence to try things,
Right at home right now.
which is so important as a rookie.
Lights of WrestleMania, perched gracefully on the top rope. Here comes Logan Paul, looking to end it all.
Oh, and he lands in 1, 2. Oh! Out of absolutely nowhere, Dominik Mysterio.
Frog splash expertly executed. And Dominik looking to take advantage of the situation.
Not finished yet, going through the ropes, taking out the Miz.
This match rolls on. Dominik Mysterio setting his sights on Logan Paul.
Ready to go toe-to-toe. Logan Paul not having it. Right into the legs of Rey Mysterio.
It was a trap.
Logan was in this position Monday night. This time, are we going to see it?
619 right to the face of Logan Paul.
Dominik wasting no time. Gonna show him how it's done. Frog splash.
It's a nice frog splash.
That's just one. Get ready for number 2. There it is.
But Miz tagged himself in. Miz is now legal, slamming Dominik onto Rey.
Skull crushing finale. What a turnaround.
That is a beautiful heel win.
I knew they'd do it. We all knew Logan Paul and The Miz would do it. These two might be the next tag team champions. I can't say we all believe it, Saxton. It just happened before our very eyes. This calls for a celebration.
On the biggest stage of them all, the Miz. What the?
Wait a minute.
What the? Skull crushing finale.
Miz, how could you?
What was that for? Now I'm really confused.
You're not the only one. Well, honestly, that was actually a pleasant surprise. It's never easy when you've got two rookies in the same tag match, but they planned that absolutely perfect. Like you may have noticed that the two rookies, Logan Paul and Dominik, were hardly ever in the match together. And when there was always an experienced body in there with them, just to prevent any possible accidents or mistakes. The Miz and Rey Jr. did a phenomenal job general in that match. The two rookies did great. They obviously listened. It showed that they listened. They've picked up what they can in the time that they've had, of mainly Logan Paul when I say that. Dominik's had longer to train and stuff like that. I know that Logan Paul has been putting work in with Shawn Michaels since. I don't know if he did beforehand, but I know he has since. Personally, I would love to see him get some coaching from Luchador, because the dude's athleticism's absolutely unreal, and his vertical leap is just incredible. So I would love to see what he would do under the guidance of a luchador, as well as Shawn Michaels, obviously, because you can't go wrong with Shawn Michaels. But yeah, that was a pleasant surprise. There was a few little things where it looked like he was maybe panicking a bit or moving a bit too fast, but first ever match, it's kind of what happens. You sort of hammer your way through everything, and because all you want to do is get this one over with and get into the locker room. But like I said, when the match was on, he's got the confidence to try things, and that's so important. As for Dominik, endless potential as well. You can tell he's been coached by his dad, because he knows some of the lucha libre spots, especially the ones that his dad used to use in the old WCW cruiserweight division, and probably in AAA before that. But there's endless potential in both Logan Paul and Dominik. I know Logan Paul's injured at the minute, but if he was to come back and stick it out, he could be incredible. He could be a future champion. You never know. And Dominik, I think, is solid as well. And I know he's got the stuff with Rhea Ripley. I haven't really seen it. I'm only going off what I've been told by people and things like that. No doubt I'll get round to seeing some of that at some point when it's recommended. But that was a pleasant surprise. I mean, it was only maybe a 12-minute tag match, but it had everything it needed. It told a nice, simple story, and it was just a good, solid tag match with decent chemistry. And what more can you ask for, really? So yeah, that one's caught me by surprise. But for now, we'll call it a day there. Go out and have fun, but don't be a dick. See you later.